Well, welcome to Fans Banter. It's FA Cup weekend. Man City versus Liverpool. Liverpool take on Man City in the FA Cup quarter-finals. Some may say it's possibly Liverpool's best opportunity this season to win some silverware of some description. Some thinking that maybe the Champions League is a bit beyond Liverpool and that the FA Cup is probably Liverpool and Arne Slot's best chance of winning any silverware. So in today's video, we're going to have a preview of the Man City versus Liverpool FA Cup quarter-final. We're going to have a look at some of the history between Liverpool and Man City in the FA Cup. I have two team selections for you for today. I have a team selection that if Arne Slot goes for, I think Man City will win. And I also have a team selection that I think if Arne Slot goes for, that we will beat Man City in the FA Cup at the weekend. It all depends on what sort of team that Arne Slot puts out versus City. It also depends on what sort of tactics he wants to use, whether he wants to use that slow, tippy-tappy passing build-up type of thing. I think if we do that, we're going to lose against Man City. I think the best way to beat a Man City team is to really go at them, to put their midfield under pressure and to put their defence under pressure. And I think that's the best way that Liverpool can play to give them an opportunity to beat City at the weekend. But will Arne Slot do that? Who knows what Arne Slot is going to do? Who knows what he's going to do? But before we go on to the team selections, and before we have a look at some of the history, so just a bit of an update on injuries. Just to let you know that I'm not quite sure if Alisson is available to play, and I'm not quite sure if Jeremy Frimpong is fit enough to play. So we'll have to wait and see. I haven't seen the press conference yet. But I have included Alisson as my goalkeeper, so there's a little spoiler for you. But obviously, if Alisson's not available to play, it'll be Marmardashvili. And if Frimpong is not available to play, I think it'll possibly be Joe Gomez, or Arne Slot will go to his default excuse to play Dominic Szoboszlai at right full, thus leaving a space for Cody Gakpo up front. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what Arne Slot decides to do based on the players that are available to him. So with all that said and done, let's have a look at just some of the history between Man City and Liverpool in the FA Cup. We have to go quite back a while. They don't play too often in the FA Cup, to be quite honest with you. So we go back as far as the 13th of March 1988. It was in the 6th round, and a dominant Liverpool beat Man City 4-0. And then we have to jump to 2001 in February, and this time it was in the 5th round, and Liverpool also beat Man City 4-2. And then we jump ahead a little bit again, another 2 years, 5th of January 2003, Liverpool beat Man City 1-0 in the 3rd round this time. And then there's a bit of a gap. We have to go to the 16th of April 2022 in the semi-final, where Liverpool beat Man City 3-2. So as you can see, recently, over the last, well, it's a good few years, Liverpool have had the better of the games between Man City and Liverpool in the FA Cup. Let's hope that continues this weekend. So with all that said and done, the teams that Arne Slot will put out at the weekend are the possible teams. So this is the team that I think will be the losing team if this is what Arne Slot goes with at the weekend. I don't think this team will be strong enough to beat Man City. I think when Liverpool play this system, I think we're far too open. The insistence of playing Szoboszlai at right full we always say it'll have to stop, but Arne Slot doesn't seem to want to stop it. So depending on whether Frimpong is available or not, I still wouldn't play Szoboszlai at right full. I would put Joe Gomez in there. But Arne Slot, it's his default position now, or his default team sheet now, that if Frimpong is not available, that Szoboszlai goes at right full. But let's hope that doesn't happen at the weekend. So that'll be the losing team that I think would lose to Man City at the weekend. So it'll be Alisson in goal if he's available. If not, it'll be Marmardashvili, of course. Kerkez, Van Dijk, Konate, Szoboszlai at right full. The midfield trio of McAllister, Gravenberch and Wirtz. Cody Gakpo out on the left. Mo Salah on the right and Hugo Ekitike through the middle. That formation and that team just leaves way too open in midfield. Salah is not going to do a hell of a lot of tracking back. Cody Gakpo is not going to do a hell of a lot of tracking back. Wirtz, let's face it, doesn't win many tackles in midfield, to be quite honest with you. And There'll be just too much space there, and that would allow Man City to play through us quite easily. And I think if that's what he's going to go with, we're not going to be winning the FA Cup this year. Yeah, so I said I had two teams for you. So a winning Liverpool team, a team that could possibly beat Man City at the weekend. As you can see, there's not too many personnel changes. There's only a couple, but it's the way that they're lined out gives us a greater opportunity to beat City. So in goal again, as I said, Alisson or Marmardashvili. A back four of Kerkez, Van Dijk, Konate and Frimpong. And if Frimpong is not available, I would like to see Joe Gomez going there and keeping the midfield quartet as it is. Gravenberch holding in midfield. McAllister, Szoboszlai and Wirtz at the top of the diamond. So it's a 4-4-2 diamond. I would let Cody Gakpo sit on the bench for this one. And my top two players will be Ekitike and Salah. I think that would be a good lineup. There's a couple of reasons why I picked this lineup and this formation. Well, one, because we're not going to get much tracking back from Salah. And I do think that when Frimpong and Kerkez move up, it solidifies the midfield a lot better than having a 4-3-3. It leaves a little less space for City to be able to play through Liverpool. And I think if Liverpool start on the front foot and really get at City, I think this formation could put City's midfield under pressure and also put their defence line under pressure. And I think that's where City are at their weakest, to be quite honest with you. If you give City this time and the space to play, that's exactly what City will do. They're very good at keeping the ball. They're very good at breaking things down slowly but surely. And that's due to the amount of possession that they usually have. They don't create huge amounts of chances in games, City. It's just the complete control of the ball that usually gets them the win. And I do think if Liverpool don't allow City to have too much of the ball without really putting any pressure on them, I think City will eventually fold. Teams have got at City this season when they've really attacked them on the front foot. And I do think if Liverpool don't do that, they won't beat City on Saturday, sadly to say. They really do need to go at them. They need to be fast, they need to be quick, and they need to be dynamic in everything that they do. They need to move the ball really quick and not to let City settle on the ball at all. I think that's the key to beating City in the FA Cup. That winning formation that I have there and the attitude and how Liverpool approach the game. If Slot decides that he wants to approach the game in a much more pragmatic way, which has been typical of Liverpool this season, a slow start, slow build-up, hoping to be able to break a team down slowly, that's not going to work against City. City are far too experienced to be, and they'll be able to counteract that completely and with great ease, I think. Yeah, so I do think that's the team if Arne Slot goes with that and that formation, that we will have a good chance of beating City. I think it'll be very tight at the weekend. I don't want to really give a score prediction because I really don't know what way that Arne Slot is just going to line them out. I mean, we're nearly at the end of the season, and I really don't know which way Liverpool will line out or which Liverpool players will be playing where. And that's probably just an indication to how poor we've been this season, that as a Liverpool fan, this late into the season, you can't really decide who's going to be where and who's going to be doing what. Okay, listen, that's it from us today. Just a quick preview of Man City versus Liverpool in the FA Cup quarter-final. Hoping for a Liverpool win. If they do win, I think it'll be a narrow victory. Well, this has been our little preview of Man City versus Liverpool for the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. If you have got through the video and have got to the end, please consider giving us a little thumbs up or perhaps subscribing to the channel. Anyway, that's it. Up the Reds for Saturday. Hope they beat City. That's Fans Banter.